Hi, my name is Lauren Souders, and I am the Prevention Advocate at YWCA Hanover Safe Home in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. My organization provides services for victims and families experiencing domestic violence and human trafficking. Today, I'm going to talk to you about teen dating violence. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 11 female and approximately 1 in 14 male high school students report having experienced physical dating violence in the last year. About 1 in 8 female and 1 in 26 male high school students report having experienced sexual dating violence in the last year, and 26% of women and 15% of men who were victims of contact sexual violence, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime first experienced these or other forms of violence by that partner before age 18. As someone who has seen firsthand the impact and consequences violent teen relationships can have, not just on those who are in the relationships, but also on their friends and families, I think it's important that we are all aware of exactly what constitutes an abusive relationship in those formative adolescent years. Teen dating violence is defined as a pattern of coercive behavior in which one person tries to gain power and control over another in an intimate relationship, and the members of that relationship are between the ages of 13 and 19. I like this definition because of the term coercive behavior. Like intimate partner violence, teen dating violence appears in many different forms. Let's take a look at the power and control wheel for teen relationships, adapted from the Duluth model for domestic violence. This is a comprehensive look at what relationship abuse may look like in adolescent relationships. We see on the outside of the wheel the threat or presence of physical and/or sexual violence. But inside that wheel, we see 8 spokes that detail the different ways in which someone may experience those coercive behaviors. We see on here isolation and exclusion, where an abuser may control what the other person does, who they see and talk to, what they read, watch, listen to, where they're able to go. We also see on here peer pressure, where an abuser may threaten to spread rumors or lies about the victim, or expose personal information about them. And again, while this does happen in adult relationships, it's worth noting that for students, they're obligated to continue to go to school and be subjected to the social consequences of those rumors or lies. We also see on here anger or emotional abuse, where the abuser uses put downs, calls names, they use mind games, humiliation, guilt, all those different things to make their partner feel bad about themselves or make them think they're crazy. We also see on here using social status, where an abuser may treat the other person like a servant or make all the decisions for the couple or act as though they're master of the castle. Or maybe they're just the one in the relationship that defines the role that each will have. We also see on here intimidation, where an abuser may make the other feel afraid through looks or actions or gestures. They may also smash or destroy things or abuse pets or display weapons. Oftentimes we hear things like this excused as angry outbursts, when in reality it's a tactic of intimidation used by the abuser. We also see on here minimize, deny, or blame, where the abuser may make light of the abuse or not even take it seriously. They may claim the abuse didn't even occur, or they may shift blame for that abuse onto the victim, claiming that their actions are what caused it. We may hear this referred to as somebody saying something like, well, if you hadn't been texting them, I would not have smashed your phone. And actually, that example would be a combination of intimidation, blame, and isolation, since they're destroying property, blaming the victim for that destruction, and using their jealousy of whomever they were texting to justify that action. We also see on here threats as a spoke, and this is where an abuser may make or even carry out threats to hurt someone. Maybe they threaten to commit suicide or threaten to leave the relationship or threaten to report the victim to police. They may make the victim drop any charges filed or even make them do illegal activities in that. Oftentimes when we see abusers making the victim do illegal activities, this is a tactic so they have leverage if the victim should ever want to file charges against them. They can say, well, I'm going to report you for this. The last spoke on here is sexual coercion, and this is where an abuser may manipulate or threaten the other member of the relationship to get sex. They may also use drugs or alcohol. If the abuser is male and in a heterosexual relationship, they may intentionally get their partner pregnant without their partner's consent. They may do this by removing the condom or messing with their partner's birth control. If the abuser is female and in a heterosexual relationship, They may intentionally get pregnant without their partner's consent. They may threaten to take the children away or keep them away from the victim as well. Many of these forms that we've discussed today are very similar to abuse we see in adult domestic violence relationships. However, as teens are just discovering what intimate partner relationships are like, it's important they're aware of what constitutes abuse and what unhealthy patterns may lead to violence later. Hopefully, this knowledge will encourage them to make changes to the relationship and help lead them to healthier, happier relationships in their future. Thank you.